Welcome to Date Like a French Woman. In today's episode, I'm going to go over 5 points to help you practice self-confidence in a way that will repel Mr. Wrong. Before we do that, if this is the first time that you listen to me, my name is Murielle. I am a holistic conscious dating coach, which lately I've been calling more sacred dating. And did I say holistic conscious coach? Scratch that. I'm a holistic conscious dating teacher and a transformation and self-love coach. I don't know why I went this way. Anyway, you got the right version. Today we're talking about self-confidence, and this is really the topic of the week and the upcoming weeks, because in case you missed it or if you're new to us, I am hosting a free masterclass this Sunday, and I will have them regularly about developing self-confidence and magnetic presence. So if you feel that you have something holding you back in your quest for love, or I even have a few people who are looking into growing a business and really put themselves out there, if you really want to become more visible and something is holding you back, join us, because we're going to cover identifying what is your most urgent block in your self-confidence, convincing your brain to shift, and I will give you a resource to continue on that journey. So the way to register to the masterclass is to visit license2shine.com, and I will put it in the notes in this episode in case you come across it and you want to join, even if it's later on. As I said, we'll have that on a regular basis. Let's go back to today's show. Before I cover the 5 points, I almost called it soul confidence, because the way we describe self-confidence in our society, it's about building self-confidence in doing, which means that because you're doing certain stuff, you feel more confident that you can do more or do something else, that you have what it takes. What I'm really going to cover today has more to do with what I call soul confidence or spiritual confidence, which is derived from who we are, not what we do. And I think it's a very important distinction, like I was saying earlier when I was talking about sacred dating. Everything can be a journey for healing, self-discovery, and self-empowerment. And that's how I wanted to approach that topic of self-confidence today. And the first way to practice this self-confidence, to really align with it, is to connect and honor who you really are, which is a spiritual being having a human experience in a human body. I forgot who said that. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, but I really resonate with that. We are at our essence magnificent, and we are not really taught to connect with that. Our world is mostly, at least in our Western societies, we are mostly focusing on the outside world and on the material world and on us as a body, as a material being. We are not taught to connect with the part of ourselves that is so much more powerful, so much more magnificent, something that is connected with the universal consciousness, because we are part of it. And when you start really identifying yourself with that and connecting with it on a regular basis, you start thinking and acting differently, which is bringing us to our second point. Treating yourself as such, as a magnificent spiritual being, as something that is so much more powerful and bigger than what you can see with the eyes. So when you are considering the fact that this is who you really are, because when you think about it, I said think, who's the one doing the thinking? You are now thinking, I am a being in a body, I'm consciousness in a body. What are you thinking with? Who's doing the thinking? Observe. And that's how you can get connected to who you really are. Become the observer of what you're doing, how you're thinking, the observer of your thoughts. And you will start connecting with the true you, the real you, the one that doesn't die, the one that doesn't get older. And when you really get connected with that, why would someone like that, why would an energy like that, an essence like that, not deserve the love you really want? When you consider that we are part of the consciousness, the universal consciousness, we also are part of love. So just because of that, we deserve it. When you've been so conditioned to relate to yourself as a body, as you with a name, an age, in a place, you get disconnected from that. So it's time to reconnect, and it's time to treat yourself as such. And when you treat yourself as such, you can practice the third step to build spiritual confidence, to practice self-confidence in a way that will repel the Mr. Wrongs out there, whether they are in love or in business or any area of your life, all the people that don't resonate with that. The third aspect of it is to practice radical self-acceptance of you as a human self. So now I'm not talking about the real you, the one that is infinite and connected to the universal consciousness. I'm talking about the you as a human being with your flaws. So practice radical self-acceptance of your flaws, or your blocks that are holding you back from going and aligning with what you dream of, your dream to find love or something else, to realize yourself in the world as the highest version of you. Whatever your dream is, or maybe both, you can have both, why not? And which which bring me back to the class, because that's what we're going to do in the class, teach you practices and do processes, because it's not going to be only a theoretical class. You're going to do processes, because that's how you change, by doing, not by listening, not by learning. You don't change by that. That's great to have the information and to know how, but the change really occurs when you do the how. So that's what we will do in the class. And so radical self-acceptance of our flaws, but also radical self-acceptance of our magnificence. Because very often, people in self-empowerment, spiritual development, they tend to work a lot on dissolving the blocks, dissolving what is in their way, and that's great, that's terrific, because you need to have awareness and you need to be able to let them go. But the missing piece in many cases is connecting and working on recognizing the magnificence, on taking action to be aligned with it. Because if you really connect and live from that place of you, from that essence, from that true you, you will have to take actions that may scare you as a human being. As I said, going for a dream, for example. You have to take action. You have to put yourself out there. You have to dare thinking of the steps to do that. You have to take risks, because any growth encompasses a certain element of risk, even if it's an emotional risk in dating, and sometimes even a physical risk, if you know my story. So you'll have to align with that and really think, behave, and act from your magnificence. And that's some aspect that is not always worked on. And also enjoy your magnificence. Sit, see, acknowledge it in your life, witness it, see when it shows up, see how it shows up, and be delighted, bathe in that delight, in that joy, in that. It's so big, guys. It's magnificent. It's beautiful. It will fill your heart. So don't forget that. And the fourth aspect of it is that when you connect and live from that spiritual, live with spiritual or soul confidence, when you have regular practices to connect with it, that's something that is necessary, because we are bombarded in our society with messages of identifying with our body only and with this material world only. So you have to remember to connect with the rest. It needs to be a practice. Otherwise, it's going to be, the brain learns with repetition and emotion. So if constantly you are being taught that your body is who you are, you're getting older, you need to do certain things in order to deserve love, that's what your brain is going to integrate. And as when you plant a seed and it starts growing, if you come and walk on it, if you kill it with your heel, it's going to die. So the same way that you need to attend to that blade of grass and feed it and protect it from predators and protect it from animals that would eat it and not crush it, you need to attend to your relationship with the true you, the essence you, because everything, not everything, it's getting better, but most of the teaching and the messaging in our society is about the other side. We do not acknowledge that part of ourselves. It's worthless. It doesn't do anything. It's not directed outward. Oh my gosh. It's not part of our modern world, let's say. And the last point, when you are able to relate to yourself in that way, when you are able to identify yourself fully with that part of yourself and live from it and remember it and act from it and honor it, when you honor yourself, everything will change, because you will, like I said, think, feel, behave, and act in a different way. So they won't be attracted. Those Mr. Wrongs, the manipulators, manipulators that want you to be malleable, to be able to drive you in the direction that they want. When you are connected with your true self, you're solid in yourself. You know your worth. You know, because you practice yourself honoring behaviors to yourself, you know your true worth, and there are certain things that you won't do anymore, and it won't uh, work anymore. Like if you're with somebody who's lying and you are centered in your true self and you're done with the lying and pretending yourself, you don't even lie to yourself, you don't even pretend that this is a real relationship that's worth living in, you will stop. You will not tolerate anymore those dishonoring behaviors. And not in an angry way, but just it's not what you do anymore. It's not who you are. It's not you. And that will turn them off because you'll see who they are and they won't like it. Because those guys, the players, the narcissists, even if they're mild manipulators or players that are not serious and lie to you, you'll see and you'll react differently. They won't like it. They like people who dance their dance, and you will be done dancing that dance. You will be dancing the dance of spirit, your spirit. So you'll be done with that. So that's on a brain level. Now on an energy level, when you live your life from that connection on a regular basis, dominantly, when you remind to yourself who you are, what you are capable of, how beautiful you are, how magnificent you are, how everybody is magnificent if they want to connect with it, you will align with a different kind of energy frequency. You know how I always talk about the elevator of energy, the vibration elevator? You will vibrate at a higher level, at a level that will be authentic and connected with love and love of yourself and your true worth. So what you will be encountering on that floor is people who resonate with that. And those Mr. Wrongs don't resonate with that because they don't even know how to live that way. You will either meet them, but it won't stick, like the Velcro will be done. It will be another kind of Velcro, and they won't attach themselves to you, and you won't attach yourself to them because you won't have the desire anymore. Or you will not even meet them anymore, and you'll meet people who vibrate at your level. So that's the 5 aspects of practicing spiritual self-confidence or soul confidence, which is the kind of self-confidence that is really powerful, way more than what we've been taught that is derived from our actions. This one is directly derived from who we truly are. So, way more powerful. Before I leave you, again, I remind you, register for the class at licensettoshine.com. I really hope to see you on Sunday. And when you register, I also have a pre-bonus class, which I want to mention if you don't have time to do it prior to Sunday, because let's say you listen to that on Saturday, that's okay. You can do it after, because they are designed to complement and reinforce the effect of each other. What I do in the masterclass are different processes that are targeting the same results, which is identifying the block, the most urgent one, which is sometimes surprising, and convincing your brain to let that go. And I explain in the class how we do that. I really hope to see you on the other side of the mirror in the masterclass. And I really hope that what I explained today resonated with you and that you will start, even if it's just 2% of your day, start connecting with your true magnificent self. And you'll be amazed as you established a practice like that in your life on how things will become way more powerful and magic is going to enter your life. And you will feel also differently, so much more joyful, so much less fear. It's such a nicer way of living your days. I'll see you, I'll hear you, or you will be hearing me in the next episode. If you have questions or comments or topics you want me to address relating to dating and love and sacred dating, which I will explain in another episode, connect with me at contact@datelikeafrenchwoman.com. Have a wonderful week.